Krishna. Before going into the video, first of all, let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you know about the RRR? I think most of you might have thought about the movie RRR, but I'm here to talk about the different one. Let me ask you another question. Do you think there exists an island full of garbage? Yeah, it exists. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is a floating island of waste located in the Pacific Ocean. The ocean currents in this area bring rubbish together and form this patch. This expanse of rubbish is larger than the state of the Queensland, and it is still growing. You may have heard of something called waste hierarchy. You may be wondering what it means. It is the order of priority of actions to be taken to reduce the amount of waste generated and to improve the overall waste management processes and programs. The waste hierarchy consists of 3 R's as follows: reduce, reuse, recycle. These are called the 3 R's of the waste management. This waste hierarchy is created for a sustainable life. You might be wondering as how can you incorporate these principles in your daily life, but they are not harder to implement. All you need is a small change in your daily life so that the less amount of waste can go to the landfills that can reduce the carbon footprint. Let's get into each R briefly. So the first R means reduce. It means the reducing the amount of waste you produce is the best way to help the environment. For example, like printing on both sides of the paper to reduce paper wastage, use electronic mail to reach out to people instead of sending paper mail, avoid using disposable plates, spoons, glass, cups and napkins. Coming to the second R, reuse. Instead of throwing things away, try to find ways to use them again. For example, you may either reuse those items for your own use or donate so that others can use them. You can reuse below items like old jars and pots, tires, used wood, newspaper, envelopes, waste paper, etc. Items that can be donated to others include old books, old clothes, old electric equipment, etc. Apart from this, you can build a compost bin and reuse many waste items like used tea bags, remains of fruits and vegetables. The waste then degrades and turns into compost that help your plants grow and shine. The third R is recycling. Unless you have been on another planet for the last century, then you have probably heard of it. The last stage of the waste hierarchy is to recycle. To recycle something means that it will be transformed again into a raw material that can be shaped into a new item. Generally, recycling is a process of breaking down and reusing materials that would otherwise be thrown away as trash. Many communities and businesses make it easy to recycle by placing labeled containers in the open for public use or providing bins for home and business owners who have curbside pickup. Let's see what Wikipedia defines recycling as. Recycling is a process of converting waste materials into reusable objects to prevent waste of potentially useful materials, reduce the consumption of fresh raw materials, energy usage, air pollution and water pollution by decreasing the need for conventional waste disposal and lowering greenhouse gas emissions compared to plastic production. There are very few materials on the earth that can't be recycled. Let's see which materials can and can't be recycled. So let's get into the recyclable items first. The first one is rigid plastics or bottles, like any plastic bottles or containers found in your kitchen. The second one is paper and keyboard, like cereal or snack cardboard boxes, phone books, magazines, mails, office paper, newspaper and cardboard. The third one is metals, like tin, aluminum and steel cans. The fourth one is glass, food containers or jars, soft drink and beer bottles, wine and liquor bottles. Let's get into the things which we could not recycle. The first one is loose plastic bags, like plastic shopping bags, plastic stretch wrap. The second one is polystyrene foam cups or containers, like egg cartoons, takeout containers, drinking cups. And the third one is soiled food items, like food soiled containers, soiled paper products. And the other like broken or sharp glass, fast food packaging, plastic utensils. Why is recycling important? There are numerous benefits to recycling, and with so many new technologies making even more materials recyclable, with everyone's help, we can clean up our earth. Recycling not only benefits the environment but also have a positive effect on the economy. Recycling is reported throughout human history but has come a long way since the time of Plato, when humans reused broken tools and pottery when materials were scarce. Today, there is a multitude of benefits that come from recycling as well as tons of items that can. Let's see some of the benefits of recycling. The first one is it reduces the size of landfills. One of the biggest reasons why recycling has been promoted is that it does reduces the strain on environment. By utilizing waste products in a constructive way, we can slowly decrease the size of our landfills. As the population grows, it will become difficult for the landfills to hold so much trash. When this happens, our cities and beautiful landscapes will face pollution, poisoning and many health problems. The benefits of recycling are that it helps to keep the pollution in check and decrease it little by little. Recycling reduces greenhouse gas emissions. When you recycle products, you tend to save energy, which results in less greenhouse gas emissions. Greenhouse gases are primarily responsible for increase in global warming. It helps to reduce air and water pollution by cutting down the number of pollutants that are released into the environment. A recycling rate of 30% is almost equivalent to the removing of 30 billion cars from the roads. Recycling saves energy. When you recycle aluminum cans, you can save 95% of the energy required to produce those cans from raw materials. Energy saved from recycling one glass bottle is enough to light a light bulb for 4 hours. This clearly shows how much energy can be saved if recycling is taken on a large scale. Recycling conserves natural resources. Scrap cars, old bottles, junk mail, and used rubber tires are becoming common features for our landfills. All of this may seem endless, but the resources required to make them are finishing off quickly. Recycling allows us all of these junk items to be used over and over again, so that new resources do not have to be exploited. It conserves natural resources such as water, minerals, coal, oil, gas, and timber, etc. Recycling also creates more employment opportunities. While you may feel that recycling is each person for himself, but in reality it is a huge industry within itself. After you do the basic sorting out and deposit your trash for recycling, it has to be sorted and shipped off to the right places. This is done by thousands of workers who are newly employed by the growing industry. Certainly one of the major benefits of recycling is that it creates more jobs in the community and provides stability to the entire process. Many animals are dying each year by eating the waste we dump into oceans. For example, 1 lakh marine animals and turtles, 10 lakh seabirds are dying each year. Many of the objects injuring these animals and polluting our planet are actually recyclable, but they are just thrown away. Hence, by recycling, the amount of waste being dumped into the oceans will be reduced, which results in the decrease of the deaths of the animals. Recycling brings different groups and communities together. At the end of the day, recycling is an act that can bring a community together. Whether it is by picking up the trash from the roads or collecting waste materials to raise money for schools, and in fact, it is one of the best ways to teach children about responsibility and taking an initiative. Practicing good recycling habits is not difficult, nor there is a secret to being a good recycler. There are lots of ways to help create and maintain a better community through recycling. These are some of the ways to help in recycling. Get involved with the local recycling programs. Volunteer to educate a class at a local elementary school. Take some time and go around and pick up trash in your neighborhood and surrounding area. Make sure to follow proper recycling habits in your daily life, because nothing works better than leading by example. If you ask me to summarize this video in one line, I will say this: by refusing to buy items that you don't need, by reusing the items more than once, and disposing the items that are no longer in use at the proper recycling centers, you can contribute towards a healthier planet. What? Sorry. Reuse and recycle them.